in uproar. The Greek word he uses, seo, which Dave read and was translated as stirred in the ESV, literally means shaken. Matthew will use that same word again, seo, when he comes to describe the earthquake that follows Christ's crucifixion, the one that opened the graves and disrupted the ordinary separation of the living and the dead. My goodness, we seem to be surrounded by dividing lines this morning. And Matthew will use that word for the third and final time at Christ's tomb to describe the fear of the guards at the appearance of the angel. Matthew wants you to know that the arrival of Christ was a moment, quite literally, that shook the earth. We know that for many who thronged the streets that day, the earth-shaking event they were hoping for was the rise of Israel as a political and military power, similar to some of the events that we've seen unfold in the Middle East today, in Libya, in Egypt, in Syria. We know because Matthew gives us the details. Hosanna to the Son of David, the crowd cried. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. It was a popular greeting, shared by pilgrims on their way to Jerusalem. But it was a greeting that had strong overtones of kingship. For in Jesus that day, what the crowds were seeing was the age-old prophecy of Zechariah come to pass. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout aloud, O daughter of Jerusalem. See, your king is coming to you, righteous and having salvation, humble and riding on a donkey. At last, the crowd sensed, here was someone who would unite the people and command a popular uprising against the accursed Romans. We know that Jesus was not going to declare his kingship in that way. And yet, he was and is a king. Only 5 days after this event, Pilate asked Jesus directly, "Are you the King of the Jews?" "My kingdom," Jesus answered him, "is not of this world. If it were of this world, do you not think my servants would be fighting to prevent my arrest?" "So you are a king?" Pilate rounded on him. "You said it," Jesus said. Christ's kingship was at the very heart of Pilate's interrogation of Jesus. And if you think about it, and I am asking you to think about it, isn't it the point which still divides and separates the world today? But it's when that question is personalised that it becomes the most important question that anyone will be asked to answer. Who is Jesus Christ for you? In my last parish, a difference of opinion had emerged between my vicar and another parishioner. I know you'll find such a situation difficult to believe, but they do happen. And despite the approaches made by my vicar, the situation remained unaltered. So one day in a conversation, I wondered if there was anything I could do to help. So my vicar gave me his blessing to go and see this man. That day, I realised something that I just hadn't seen before. They shared the same passion. They were both passionate men. but it was the strength of their feeling that was keeping them apart. So I said to him, there is a way back and forward from this. Oh, he said, and what's that? Well, I said, we simply choose to walk the way of the cross. He changed the subject so swiftly and so adroitly that I wondered if he'd even heard me. He heard me. The very next event after the triumphal entry that Matthew describes in his Gospel is the moment when Jesus enters the temple and turned out the money changers. It was here where the cheering stopped. The cheering stopped when Jesus started talking about the cross and commitment. There is a terrible, secret and insidious movement afoot in the modern church. And it says, we can stay united as long as we don't talk about commitment, as long as we don't get passionate, as long as we don't talk about biblical truth, as long as we don't talk about the cross. But I'm here today to tell you, my dear parishioners, there can be no Christianity without the cross. Clarence Jordan, the author of a book called The Cotton Patch, was once being given a red carpet tour round a minister's new church. It had been built with money raised by parishioners, and with pride the minister pointed to the new modern seating, the state-of-the-art sound system, the well-appointed fittings. As they stepped outside, darkness was beginning to fall, and a spotlight was shining on this huge cross on the top of the steeple. That cross alone cost us $10,000, the minister said with a satisfied smile. You were cheated, Clarence Jordan said. The time was when Christians